Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, good afternoon, Musharraf, Hina, Gulafsa, and Padma. Welcome. And now we are going to start without wasting any time because, we have to finish it fast. So, let's start with check it section. And I can see that you guys have written some of your experiences. Okay, positive, negative. Nandini writes, I have made Madhubani painting. I have cooked non-veg and veg meal. I haven't been to Mumbai. I haven't swum. SWUM. Okay. 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 I have never rose hand against the elders. Okay. Okay. Raised. I've never raised my hand. Okay. I've never been a part group who harasses a girl. Never been part of a group. Very good. Very nice. I've never been in pub. Okay. I've never failed in my exams. I've never betrayed my friends. I've never driven an electric car. Very good. Lucky. You've done a good job, man. And okay, you reminded me of this challenge in photo as well. Okay. I have seen Indrapuri Dam. I have made paper flowers. I have been to Kolkata. I've made cake at home. I haven't traveled alone anywhere. I have never quarreled with my friends. I haven't cooked non-veg. Really? Okay, yeah. Never. Okay. Good job. All of you guys, you understand the first use very well, you know. So today you practice the first use. Let me assign homework for the second use. Second use is to talk about task, completion of task. Okay. So you guys will today go home and write in the evening or tomorrow, you will write a couple of sentences, not about your experiences. In your mind, you will think what task your teacher gave you, what task your mummy gave you, what task your friends gave you. Somebody asked you to do something and you have completed the task. So you will write this. Okay. Things that you have done, not experience. You will not be talking about your experiences. So tomorrow, because today you talked about your experiences here, everybody, this is fantastic, very good practice. Now, second, the second use, task completion. Yet, already, just, okay, these words are very common there. So you can say, my mom asked me to buy vegetables and I have bought them. If you don't want to write the first part, it's okay. I have bought the vegetables today. Okay, काम कर दिया है, काम खत्म कर दिया. It's not experience. It's not experience. The task that you have completed. Okay, so please practice. And you too, Arsalan, please write beta, because if you practice, you get better. Okay, you understand, that's good. But when you practice, you feel more confident of your skills. Please. Padma's sister is getting married. Okay, Padma. Okay. So when is your sister getting married, Padma?
November 1st, sir.
No, on November the 1st.
Yes, sir.
On November the 1st, 25 more days only.
Yes, sir.
To the man who, recommended this class to you, right?
No,
No,
sir.
no, no. No, 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 no. Sorry. He's going to be your husband. He is going to be your husband in the future. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
I got it. Yes. My mistake. Sorry, Padma. Okay.
It's okay, sir.
Thank you. So nice of you for not minding it. Okay. So I'm a little bit busy. Yeah, I know you, when there is a wedding, it's different. But again, practice makes you perfect. I have lived in Kolkata. I have climbed a tree. I have had, this is not present perfect. This is important. Zafri, a big mistake. Is this a present perfect sentence, everybody? Is this a present perfect sentence? I have an accident. Is this a present perfect sentence? It is not. It is not. What is the present perfect? I have had an accident. Mera accident hua hai. Okay. Bike accident you're talking about? So mention I've had a bike accident. Okay. Yes. I have fought with the local boys. I have fallen in love. Fell is the V2, V3. I have swum, तैरा हूँ, Okay, I've done swimming is better. I have done swimming. I have done swimming. Okay, I have made halim for 15 people. Wow. I have driven. I have driven a car. I have walked 30 kilometers. I have fallen into a river as well. You have fallen into a river as well. Okay, you have plenty of experiences. That's why he is a good swimmer. He's not learning, he knows. He knows swimming actually. He came the first day and he could swim well. I have won 800-meter race as well. Okay, very good. I've climbed a tree. I have jumped off a boat into a pond. Very good. So these are lovely experiences. And lucky I read your sentences too. Very good job. I like it very much when students study something here and go home practice. Because this is the process. You leave the process midway when you don't practice. When you study in the class and do nothing in the group. Okay, why do we have the group in the first place? For practice mainly. So this makes me really happy, and I'll encourage all of you guys, when you learn something you think you have understood, practice it in the group. Show me that you understood. So today's homework for tomorrow is today's homework for tomorrow. Okay, that sounds funny. So homework for tomorrow is homework for tomorrow is write those sentences in the present perfect which express that you have completed some task from your life. Like these sentences were from your life. So I want true sentences. Things your mummy asked you to do, things your papa asked you to do, things your uncle, auntie, neighbors asked you to do, things your teachers asked you to do, and you have completed them. So you write, yes, I have. And if you have not completed, you write, I haven't yet. Okay. So you write two sentences, positive and negative, just like here. So that you guys understand that, yes, sometimes we use the present perfect to talk about experiences. Sometimes we use the present perfect to talk about tasks we have completed or tasks we have not completed yet. Okay. So now we are going to move on to the next thing that we have on the course. Check it section. Exercise 4. Pick the correct sentence, everybody. Pick the correct sentence on your screen. Okay, you can turn the string on for yourself. The shorter the string, pull the shorter string. Yeah, thank you. I hope you guys are done. Number 1, which sentence is correct? The upper one or the lower one? The upper one is correct. Because time is mentioned here, yesterday. So when the time is mentioned, you cannot use the present perfect. So sometimes what happens, even though you have learned something 4 times, 5 times, you still get it wrong, like you got it wrong, right? So it happens. It's not strange. There is no need to discuss this a lot. Realize what you have studied. You fail to apply yourself, nothing more. So those people who didn't get it right, They fail to apply the knowledge you have. That present perfect talks about experiences, task completions, and other things, but all present perfect. One thing is true, we never mention the time of the action in the present perfect. We say yes or no. So here, I saw Harry, and then we have yesterday. So if I say I have seen Harry, then I cannot say yesterday, because then yesterday refers to the past tense. Time mentioned means past tense. So you can say I've seen Harry, I saw him yesterday. So the upper sentence is correct. I saw Harry yesterday. In English, the lower sentence, I've seen Harry yesterday, is wrong English. Anybody, doesn't matter who writes this sentence, is not following the English grammar. Okay. Number two, did you ever met my cousin? Have you ever met my cousin? The lower sentence, obviously. Three, when did she go to Bali? Because you're talking about the time. So when has she been to Bali is not a good sentence. Yes, she has been to Bali. No, she hasn't been to Bali. Fine. But when you want to talk about the time, you say, when did she go to Bali? Four. Okay, the upper one, the lower one, we are getting all sorts of responses. Take a look again. How often do you take a taxi? How often are you taking a taxi? So ask yourself in Hindi, कितनी दफे आप, ये तो यहाँ तो दोनों में से कोई नहीं है, दोनों में से ले चुके हैं is present perfect. This is here we have present simple and present continuous. So that is fine. कितने दफे टैक्सी की आज तक जिंदगी में, that is experience, that's fine. But here the sentences are saying something else. How often do you take a taxi? How often are you taking a taxi? Which is correct? Hina, Gulafsa, please, Padma, decide an answer. This is the time you guys tell me that we have learned something or we need to go back and revise. But keeping quiet is something that bothers me a lot in this kind of moment. This is moment of truth. We have studied for last 5-6 days what the present perfect is, different kinds of sentences, so many texts, so many sentences, so many examples. And now it is for you to decide which is correct. Number 4, how often do you take a taxi? How often are you taking a taxi? Hina, Gulafsa, I'm calling out names and you guys are still quiet. I don't know why. Neha, Afreen.
How often do you take a taxi?
Okay, Padma has decided how often do you take a taxi. I want everybody to register their answer by stating their answer. The upper one or the lower one, which do you think is correct? Gulafsa, can't you decide, sweetie, which is correct? How often do you take or how often are you taking a taxi? Can't you decide which do you normally say? कौन वाला आप अक्सर बोलते हो कि आप कितने दफे टैक्सी लेते हैं, right? It's a present simple thing. It's about habit, routine. It's not about happening now. So the upper one is right. Rukaya, which one did you choose? The upper one. Very good. Well done. Good job. 5. And I am very bothered that some of my students, no matter how many times I encourage them to answer, they chose to keep quiet. They did not find the courage to say their answer. Right or wrong, doesn't matter. What could have gone wrong? You would have given the wrong answer. So what happens if you give the wrong answer? It doesn't change anything. If you give the wrong answer, you give me a chance to explain why your answer is wrong. But when you keep quiet, you are not getting any explanation why you have chosen the wrong answer. And if you chose the right answer and you did not feel confident, again, you do not know why that answer is right because you're not sharing with me. So you need to ask yourself if this attitude is good for you, if this is going to help you. Because I've said already, students who during the test keep quiet, do not answer, they usually have bigger problems. Right or wrong, you answer and you listen to the explanation, the feedback carefully. Number 5.
What are you
What do
going
you
to wear on the
going
journey?
to wear on trip?
The upper one or the lower one?
Lower
The
one.
upper one,
The
obviously, because
upper
the
Upper
lower
one.
one doesn't make sense. It's not
what
following
are
the
you
grammar,
going to
right?
wear?
What are you going to wear on the journey? Your mother is asking you, what are you going to wear, beta, on the journey?
Hmm.
Mom, I'll wear my shorts. Okay. 6.
He doesn't
He
like
doesn't like
He
flying.
doesn't
flying.
like flying.
7.
Has like
Has
Has
like yet
finished packing it.
packing.
the lower one.
Has
Hmm.
Lexi finished packing yet? The lower one is correct.
Okay.
8.
Have you ever been to rock
Answer.
concert? Rock.
Very
The
good.
lower.
So a question about your inquiry, your experience. Number 8, the lower one is right. We are moving on to reading and listening. Explorers, ancient and modern. Explorers. Some people have this personality. They can't just live a normal life like others. They are too curious, some people. Some people are too curious. They want to know things that other people do not know. You will see some young kids showing this tendency. Some kids are easy to control. They ask less number of questions. And some students are difficult to control. They ask too many questions. They are very inquisitive, very curious. Inquisitive is another word for curious. And those people are not easy to control because their curiosity, makes them do so many things. So these are explorers. Okay, you were born, you grew up with your family, you lived a normal life, fine. Some people, they can't. They must do something strange, something that people have not done before. They have that kind of curiosity, inquisitiveness. So explorers are those people who go to explore, search new things, new places. You hear that Vasco da Gama came to India. You hear that Columbus went to the US, America. Okay, why? Did they have a problem where they were living? No, they just didn't want to be satisfied with what they saw. They wanted to see more. Explore is a verb. Dance is a verb. Teach is a verb. So one who teaches is a teacher. One who dances is a dancer. And one who explores is an explorer. So explorers, those people who explore, this word is big. Now may not be a very big word because within a second you can connect to somebody who is in the US or who is on the South Pole, on the North Pole. You can connect with them in 1 second. Thanks to 4G, 5G, 6G internet, you can have a voice conversation, video call with them. But imagine a time when we had only horses, when all we had was just boats, no motor, okay, no electronic stuff, only hand, muscle power. You had to ride horses with your body, with your strength of your body. Otherwise, the horse would get tired after some time. You would get tired too, and you had to stop. Okay, but today, keep going at 4,000 kilometers an hour, 3,000 kilometers an hour, 2,000 kilometers an hour. You're going by an aeroplane, right? So today, the world has become smaller because our speed has become bigger. Okay. So, explorers in the past and even now, some people try to go to those places which normally people do not go to. So, they are called explorers. Okay. So, if there is a room in your house where nobody goes and you try to go into that room, you are also an explorer, a small level, a small scale explorer. If your mummy says, never go into that room, And when everybody's sleeping, you try to open the door of that room to know what is going on inside. Why your mummy says you should not go in that room, then you are also some sort of an explorer. I mean, maybe very small, very tiny explorer, but you are. Okay. So explorers, okay. Ancient explorers and modern explorers. What do you know about these explorers? Look at them. Leif Erikson. Have you heard his name? I bet you haven't. Okay. What nationality are they? Christopher Columbus. You've heard about him, right? Okay. Edmund Hillary. You know this guy? I thought that you might have heard Edmund Hillary. Anybody? Nobody has ever heard about Edmund Hillary? Okay. Okay. Neil Armstrong. You have certainly heard of him. Okay. So, what nationality are these people? Leif Erikson, you have never heard, so you don't know. Christopher Columbus. Do you know what nationality he was? I think Columbus was Italian. I think he was Italian. He was born in Italy, I think. Okay, we'll find out. Okay, maybe. Edmund Hillary, he was American. Do you know? Okay, later. Neil Armstrong, he was certainly American. Everybody knows. Okay. Now, look, any of these people are alive? Any of these people are alive today? No. They're all dead. So when we talk about them, we say he was, he did, because in the past time. Okay. Somebody will say, sir, we are talking about his experience. Is he alive? Then his experiences are not talked, cannot be expressed in the present perfect. Dead people's experiences, whatever they did, past tense. Okay, guys? Now, question is, which places did they explore? Okay, did they explore? So, which place did Leif Erikson explore? Any idea, anyone?
I think Edmund Hillary is the first guy who
was the first guy.
Climbed the mountain.
Right. Yeah, he was. He was the first man to climb Mount Everest, Edmund Hillary. Okay. With an Indian climber called Senjing Tapa, I don't remember, or Nepali maybe. Okay. What places did they explore? Leif Erikson, do you know which place he explored? You don't know? Okay, you will find out when I play the audio. Christopher Columbus, which place did he explore? Christopher Columbus explored America. He explored America. Okay. And Edmund Hillary, he explored the Mount Everest. He explored Mount Everest. Okay. He explored Himalayas. Okay, the Himalayas. And Neil Armstrong, he explored the moon. Right. Okay. Now, so many questions. When was Leif Erikson born?
He was born in
970. Okay. And when did he die? He died in 1020. Christopher Columbus, when was he born? He was born in
1451.
There is a little problem here. There is a little problem here. I think it should be 1524, not 1324. Okay, 1524. Christopher Columbus was born in 1451 and he died in 1524, most probably. Okay. And Edmund Hillary, he was born, when was he born? In 1999. Okay, 1999 was a very bad year in history. 1919. Sorry, my bad. 1919 was a very bad year in the history of India. What happened in 1919? Anybody? Jallianwala Bagh? When did that happen?
1990.
So many innocent people were killed, murdered in cold blood because of the hatred of one person, General Dyer. He did not think of Indians as human beings. He said, kill them. Doesn't matter. They're animals. If they die, no issues. Till date, even today, some white people have the same opinion about Asians, Indians, Pakistanis, that we are not as important as them. We are not as valuable as them. Some people still have that racist attitude. So 1919 was a very, very, I will say, be careful, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, there is a way we can do something about it. Give me a minute. I can take care of this. I have just had my meal and the water is waiting. See, oh, 2 liters of water.
Are you sure?
What? This is 1.2 liters or 1 liter.
1.2.
This is? Are you sure? Okay, this is 1.25. So maybe I should try this today
No, sir.
and that tomorrow. No, I'm not saying I won't try. I will try 2 liters tomorrow, maybe.
No, sir.
I have to try today.
Yeah.
Then maybe I should
Do or die.
stand and teach. You know why? Because if I stand, I'll burn some calories, my food will digest because
Do whatever you want to do.
okay. All right.
So
Fine.
please, sir, sir.
Okay, okay. All right. Fine, everybody. So what nationality are they? We did that. What places did they explore? Neil Armstrong explored the moon, of course. Listen to a description of each explorer. Listen to what? Listen to a description. It's a noun you do not use. Description. Say the word at least. So a description is when you say something about somebody or some place, that is called a description. If somebody said, describe your teacher, you said he is around medium height, 40 plus year old man. He's got white hair. This is a description because you're describing me. So this is a description. Okay. So listen to a description of each explorer, each of these 4 explorers. Who is it? Check your ideas. Okay. So we are going to listen to the descriptions and we do not know which explorer is being described. We have to make a guess. Okay. Let's find out. 12.8.
(12.8) Who is this famous explorer?
Who is this?
1. He was an Italian explorer, but it was the Spanish king who paid for his voyages. He wanted to sail west from Europe, not east like other explorers. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic Ocean. During his first voyage in 1492, he landed in what we now call America.
Who was this explorer? Whose description was it? It was Christopher Columbus's description. It was a description of Christopher Columbus. Okay. Now let's carry on.
2.
He was born in Iceland. His father, Eric the Red, was also an explorer. He was the first European to discover North
Now he's
America
just trying to
many
get
years
through to
before
over
Christopher
45.
Columbus.
Once he gets to over 45, he's got 2 from Bolt, 2 from Henry, and 1 from Santner.
Okay, what's the situation? 7 down for 245, and Karan and Vokes are batting. Vokes is a bowling all-rounder, mainly. He is not a batsman. Karan is also a bowling all-rounder. Both of them are bowling all-rounders. So I don't think they're gonna go further to 280 or 90. They will be restricted under 280, in my opinion. Let's find out at the end of the first innings. And I was playing the audio.
3.
Was the first European to discover North America many years before Christopher Columbus.
3.
He was an American astronaut who became the first person to walk on the moon. He was the commander of Apollo 11, which landed on the moon on the 20th of July 1969. He and his co-pilot, Buzz Aldrin, spent 2.5 hours walking on the surface.
4.
He was a mountaineer from New Zealand. On the 29th of May 1953, he and Sherpa Tenzing were the first people to climb to the summit of Mount Everest. Some years later, he went overland to the South and North Poles, and so became the first person to reach the poles and Everest.
Edmund Hillary, right? Now, as you know, that we can't move on because we listen and try and understand.
12.8. Who is this famous explorer? 1. He was an Italian explorer, but it was the Spanish king who paid for his voyages. He
was an Italian explorer, but it was a Spanish king who paid for his voyages. Voyage means journey. Sea journey is called voyage. When people have a sea journey, it is called a voyage. Okay. V-O-Y-A-G-E, voyage. Okay. The word, I think, comes from the French language. And in French language, when somebody is going somewhere, we say bon voyage, means happy journey. In English, we say happy journey, and some people even in English say bon voyage these days. Okay, so English language is heavily influenced by German and French. So like we speak Hindi and we use a lot of English words in our Hindi because the English ruled over us. Similarly, the French ruled over England for a long time. And the French was the language of the court as well. So there are lots of words in English which are French, from French origin, okay, which are of the French origin. Let me tell you, sometimes you come across words which are synonyms in English, right? Two words which are synonyms have the same meaning, okay? Why? One comes from French and the other comes from Latin. So there will be two words and they were both because Latin also influenced English. That's why in Hindi also, when we say Prakash and Roshni, if somebody wants to understand the difference between Prakash and Roshni, then what is the difference? No difference in the meaning, but the origin is different. Prakash comes from the Sanskrit origin and Roshni comes from the Persian origin. Because when the Mughals came, they did not carry they came from Uzbekistan, but they spoke and they made Persian popular. Persian was the language of Iran. Okay, Iran at the time was a very powerful country, and of course, you see these things like the Taj Mahal and all. What do they do they resemble? Iranian, we will call it architecture. Okay, not Uzbekistan. Afghani, Irani. Afghan was also influenced by the same Iranian architecture. Uzbekistan, Babur was from? Okay, but he was the ruler of, he was a king in Uzbekistan. Babur was a king in Uzbekistan. Then some king chased. Okay, to the present day Uzbekistan. The present day Uzbekistan. So a king chased him, a king defeated him. So he found shelter in India, okay? And here he became a king. So Uzbekistan will not see, you will not see such buildings in Uzbekistan, but you will find such buildings in Iran, okay? So my point was that, where did we go to this place? Talking about two different words from having the same meaning, but two different origins, okay? Synonyms. Okay, so here we are talking about which word? Nah, we are not, huh? Voyage, okay. So voyage means journey, okay? Sea journey is called voyage, yes. So when you study at school, college, then this happens. You learn in detail. In a spoken English class, there is always a boundary, you know, time limitation. You cannot, I mean, I would love to talk about all these things, the history of English and all. I can prepare special lectures, you know. I can talk about how, you know, English language evolved, what it looked like in the past, in 600, the 7th century, then in the 10th century, then in the 15th century, how English evolved slowly. I can talk about all these things. It's great fun. But again, we don't have the time when we are in a language class, spoken English class like this. We study these things when we are in graduation, post-graduation, we are doing English literature course, you know, then we study these things. Okay, so the sentence was, we were listening to the first Christopher Columbus, that he was an Italian explorer, right? He was from Italy, but Italian king did not pay for his voyages. Who did? Who did? A Spanish king, okay? His name was Ferdinand. So King Ferdinand paid for his voyages.
To sail west from Europe.
Who is this famous explorer? 1.
He was an Italian explorer, but it was the Spanish king who paid for his voyages.
He was an Italian explorer, but it was the Spanish king who paid for his voyages.
He wanted to sail west from Europe.
He wanted to sail west from Europe. In those days, most people sailed east because they did not know about how far they will have to go, where they would have to go. You know, it was risky to sail west. Nobody knew the route, the path, okay? The people used to sail east those days, but he decided to sail west, okay?
Not east, like other explorers.
Not east, like other explorers. You know what? Today, when I was teaching the kids class at 3 o'clock, then there is a kid from here, Moni, okay, and he said cook food. There is another kid who is from Jamui, which is very far from here. I mean, 100 kilometers nearly. And she also said cook food. I said, look, you guys are in two different places, very too far from each other, but you're making the same mistake. You know why? Because both your teachers are teaching you cook food, okay? And I told, when I was talking, I used cook all the time. I didn't say cook food. So one of the children added this word food. I didn't say it, but he added cook food. I said, I'm not saying cook food, I'm saying cook. So listen, the thing is, I said sailed west, sailed east, right? And you listen to me. You don't realize we are following some grammar rules here. It's another thing that you guys will study from some not so smart teachers, and they will teach you a rule, and that rule will, instead of helping you, confuse you. What can I do? Because you might study, sir, articles लगाते हैं direction के पहले. अभी ये सब बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. अगर ऐसे सीखा जाए जैसे मैं सिखाता हूँ, तो ऐसे भी आप सही सीख रहे हैं. मैंने क्या बोला? Sailed west. He sailed west, not east like other explorers. Okay? This is correct English. लेकिन अगर जैसे आपके दिमाग में एक लेसन चला जाएगा कि आर्टिकल द लगाते हैं डायरेक्शन के पहले, तो डायरेक्शन तो है वेस्ट, डायरेक्शन तो है ईस्ट, तो आप लगा दोगे आर्टिकल, है ना? तो ये बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. इसका सोल्यूशन एक ही चीज में है छुपा हुआ, कि सिस्टमैटिकली पढ़िए. ऐसे जहां तहां से कबाड़ उठाओगे ना, या बढ़िया बढ़िया चीजें भी उठाओगे ना, तो उसका कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. मान लो आप घर से निकले, इधर गए, बहुत बढ़िया चीज दिखी, खरीद लिया, उधर गए, बहुत बढ़िया चीज दिखी, खरीद लिया, सोचा नहीं कि क्यों, उसका क्या मकसद है, राइट? खरीदने का मकसद नहीं सोचा। यू स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, यू कलेक्टेड अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग, घर में लाके रख लिया। अब बताओ घर तुम्हारा कैसा दिख रहा है? कोई प्लानिंग नहीं थी उसमें कि क्यों कोई चीज खरीद रहे हैं। सही चीजें खरीदी, काम की चीजें खरीदी, लेकिन तुम्हारा कोई प्लानिंग नहीं था। सो इट लुक्स लाइक ए hodgepodge, right? Total mess. So that's the point, that when you learn, there should be a system. Why you're learning? What's the purpose? Do you have a system? तो ऐसे जैसे तैसे रैंडम रूल्स नहीं पढ़ने चाहिए। और हालांकि हम बोल रहे हैं रैंडम, उन लोग को रैंडम नहीं समझ में आता, पढ़ाने वाले को, उनको लगता है हम चैप्टर पढ़ा रहे हैं, वो कहते हैं हम आर्टिकल्स पढ़ा रहे हैं। ऐसे नहीं होता, समझ के लिए वो रैंडम है, ठीक है? वो रैंडम रूल है। अभी मैंने आपको क्या बोला? ही सेल्ड, दिस गाय कोलंबस सेल्ड west, not east, like other explorers those days sailed east, but he decided to sail west. अब बार आप सही बोल रहे हो इंग्लिश, लेकिन वही है जैसे किसी ने सामने से रूल डाल दिया आपके दिमाग में कि क्या रूल, डायरेक्शंस के पहले द लगाते, अब आप परेशान हो जाओगे, कहोगे क्या करें, द लगा देते हैं। तो ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम है। सब स्टैंडर्ड टीचिंग साथ अगर मिलेगी तो सब स्टैंडर्ड टीचिंग परेशानी क्रिएट करेगी, ठीक है? आपको समझने नहीं देगी चीजों को, आप सही को गलत, गलत को सही सोचने लगोगे। ओके, सो लेट्स कैरी ऑन। He sailed west.
Explorers. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic Ocean.
He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic Ocean, from this side to that side of the Atlantic Ocean. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic. Did you understand the word across? Yeah. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic Ocean. He sailed, what did I say? He sailed across the Atlantic 4 times. That is a very, very special achievement, because back then they didn't have steamers like today, ships like today. They had boats. They didn't have machines. They didn't have petrol and diesel and all these things. Humans had to row the boats. Okay, they were boats mainly. Those ships were basically boats. They didn't have, in the 15th century, do you think people had motor? So how did the boats move? Water, air, and manpower, muscle power. 3 things. Current of the water moved the boats, wind moved the boats, and manpower, muscle power. So he crossed the Atlantic. He went across the Atlantic 4 times. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic, and that's a big, big achievement. Atlantic Ocean is a very, very big ocean. When you look at the map or the globe, then you will know. So it's not a small feat. We said it in 4 words. Oh, he sailed across the Atlantic 4 times. But when you realize what kind of person he was, he did the same risky thing 4 times. Anything could have happened in the middle of the sea. One tide, one big tide, one strange thing happens, and tsunami type thing, and you're gone, right? But he was lucky.
During his first voyage in 1492.
During his first voyage in 1492. So his first voyage was in 1492. During his first voyage in 1492, I will give this audio file to you guys in the group. I will share this with you. But the problem is, you guys will never listen to it. I know it now. And I'm trying to find a solution to this problem. Because I've realized recently that some students simply do not understand what learning means, what this course is about. I will share 12.8, but students will not bother to play that audio file a couple of times and understand what is being said, which words were being used there, what the meaning of those words are. Nobody will care. That's the problem. That's why your improvement will be less. Because why will I share it otherwise? Why am I playing it the second time? Why am I stopping the audio after each sentence? I have played already. You have already answered the questions. Let's move on. Because I thought we were here to learn English, so it is necessary. But you guys don't agree with me that you are here to learn English, listening to this audio, trying to understand the sentences, the words used in these sentences will help you with your understanding of English. You don't seem to agree with that idea. I don't know why. This beats my common sense. I don't understand. Common sense says we should listen. Okay, so
He landed in West like other explorers. He sailed 4 times across the Atlantic Ocean.
across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, across is a preposition. Okay, across the Atlantic Ocean. So from this side to across the road, from this side to that side. Okay, across the river. Okay, he swam across the river 3 times in 1 minute, like that.
During his first voyage in 1492, he landed in what we now call America.
He landed in what we now call America. So when he landed there, it was not called America. Okay, we means the people who went there, they gave it a name, America, right? Before that, people there might have called it something else in their own language, right? America is the word in English, right? So the English called it America. So what we now call is America. So he landed there in his first voyage in 1492. Okay.
Red Indian is the native.
People of that place.
2.
He was born in Iceland. His father,
He was born in Iceland. He was born in, okay.
Eric the Red, was
Eric the Red. His father, Eric the Red,
also an explorer.
was also an explorer. So he became like his father. He walked in his father's footsteps. His father was an explorer. He became an explorer too.
He was the first European to discover North America.
He was the first European to discover North America. He was the first European who went to North America
Many years before Christopher Columbus.
Many years before Columbus. He was the first European to discover North America many years before Columbus. You can see who? Now, this time, this description is of Leif Erikson. His father was Eric the Red, right? And he discovered North America many years before Columbus. Columbus went there in 1492, and this man went there, he died in 1020. It means he went there before that, clearly, many years, 500 years before Columbus. So credit should go to Leif Erikson, but the whole world gives credit to Columbus, right? That he discovered America. But actually, he was the second man to go there. The first man to visit or to discover America was Leif Erikson.
3.
He was an American astronaut who
Was an American astronaut
became the first person to walk on the moon.
who became the first person to walk on the moon. Yes, he was the first American who became the first. He was an American astronaut who became the first person to walk on the moon.
He was the commander of Apollo 11,
He was the commander of Apollo,
which landed on the moon on the
which landed on the moon
20th of
on
July 1969.
On the 20th of July, 1969. Okay.
He and his co-pilot, Buzz Aldrin, spent 2.5 hours walking on the surface.
He and his co-pilot, Buzz Aldrin, spent 2.5 hours walking on the surface of the moon. He and his co-pilot, Buzz Aldrin, spent 2.5 hours walking on the moon. They spent 2.5 hours walking on the moon. What an experience. Imagine 2 hours and 30 minutes walking on the moon. Just imagine this. If you were that guy, how would you feel inside? Where are we? We are on the moon, right? What's that feeling? Unbelievable, incredible thing to experience, that you are just out of the world. You're not on Earth. You're walking on, and not for 1 or 2 minutes. You had 2.5 hours to experience this unbelievable thing. You had enough time to let that feeling sink in. Yes, it is the moon. First 5-10 minutes, it would be like, what the hell is going on? What? And then slowly and slowly you will realize, wow. And when you saw the Earth from there, because as we can see the moon from here, they would be able to see the Earth from there. You know what? Okay. The world looks beautiful to you when you look up into the sky at night. It looks so beautiful, right? the sky, the stars, the moon and everything. But guess what? If you were living on the moon, the world would look even more beautiful. Why? Because the earth looks many times more beautiful than the moon in the sky, blue color because of the oceans and all. So it looks so amazing. There are pictures available and people's accounts. They say that when they are there, and the size of the earth is also bigger. So you will see a bigger, ball up there in this, sky, and colorful, blue color, right? And this moon, we call the moon beautiful, right? Imagine so many poets wrote poetry thinking of the moon. Imagine if they were on the moon, they would write so much better poetry looking at the earth. Okay. पता नहीं क्या बोलते, वो कहते तुम चांद नहीं, जैसे बोलते कहते ना ते चांद सा चेहरा रोशन चेहरा, वो कहते ये दुनिया से रोशन चेहरा दुनिया सी नीली आंखें, दुनिया सी नीली आंखें. Yeah, because the color of the earth is blue. Okay. ये सब बातें करने के लिए आपको थोड़ा इमेजिनेशन रखना होगा. ये बातें जो अभी आपने मेरे मुंह से सुनी, आपने पहले कब सुनी थी? ओके तो आप इतनी उम्र में हो गए, इतनी उम्र के, और आप मैं से कोई बात, मैं से कोई पढ़ा लिखा इंसान तो हूँ नहीं कोई खास, लेकिन ये बातें मैं बोला और आपको सुनने में अच्छा लगा, एंटरटेन हुए आप, तो इसलिए कि ये बनाल बातें नहीं थी, ये रेपिटेटिव बातें नहीं थी, कुछ ऐसी बातें थी जो शायद आप पहली दफा सुने. तो to have this kind of ability to talk about something that people have not heard before, you need to have imagination. I use my imagination with my knowledge, combined my knowledge and my imagination, and I said something that entertained you guys. Okay, carrying on.
Surface.
4.
He was a mountaineer from New Zealand.
He was a mountaineer. He was a mountaineer. A mountaineer is person who climbs the mountain. Mountaineer, okay? A mountaineer. He was a mountaineer.
Zealand. On the
From New Zealand. Okay, sorry, Edmund Hillary was not American. We were wrong. Okay, we thought that Edmund Hillary was American. He was not American. He was a Kiwi. He was a Kiwi. People from New Zealand are called Kiwis. Okay, so he was from New Zealand. He was a New Zealander. He was a New Zealander. Okay, he was a Kiwi.
29th of May 1953, he and Sherpa Tenzing were the first people to climb to the
Sherpa Tenzing. Something I can't pronounce his name. Sherpa Tenzing. Okay, they both became. I told you that he had some companion. He didn't do it alone.
The summit of Mount Everest.
The summit of Mount Everest. Summit means the highest peak. The highest peak is called summit. 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 Summit means the highest peak. The summit of Mount Everest. Okay, so Mount Everest is not like a small table. Mount Everest is not a small table that you stand on the on the table and say, I'm on Mount Everest. Mount Everest is a huge mountain. So there are lots of peaks. The highest peak, the summit of Mount Everest. I hope you understand. Even though you're not there, you are somewhere else, you are on Mount Everest, right? But he climbed the summit of Mount Everest. The summit means the highest peak, P-E-A-K, peak, right? Okay. The highest peak of Mount Everest.
Some years later, he went overland to the South and North Poles. And
some years later, he went to South and North Poles. Okay.
So became the first person to reach the poles and Everest.
So he became the first person to reach the poles and Everest, both. Those people who reached the Everest never reached the poles. Those who reached the poles never reached Mount Everest. He did both. He became the first person to reach poles and Mount Everest, both. What are you searching? Please tell me. Nothing is not the right answer. Huh.
I'm searching what is called something.
Sorry?
Sir, when I was in school, I studied that the upper part is called has a name, sir.
Okay, so the summit means the highest peak. Okay, summit. Okay. So normally when two state heads meet, that meeting is called the summit meeting. Okay, because it is the two highest, most important people, prime minister, presidents meet. It's called summit. Okay. Okay. We're done. So past explorers went to new places. Look at the photos of the 21st century explorers on the right side, or on, if you keep your books open on both sides, you will see some photos. Look at the photos of the 21st century explorers. There is still a lot to explore, right? The earth, people are still exploring. Okay. Now, look at these four people. They are also explorers. They are the 21st century explorers, the modern explorers. Who are they? The first one is Lynn Cox. The second one is Robbie Shone. First is? Oh, first is Gary Conry. Okay, Gary Conry. Okay, sorry. And the second is Lynn Cox. Okay. And the third is Robbie Shone. And the fourth is Karen Darke. Okay. Okay. So what do we know? Who are they? What do they do? So Gary Conry, he is a wingsuit flyer. Look at the words, wingsuit. The suit has wings and he's a flyer, he flies. So he flies wearing the suit, as you can see on the right side. Okay. He flies wearing that suit like a bird. Can you see him in the air? I think it's a fun job. He's a wingsuit flyer.
Fun and dangerous too.
Olympics.
No, sir. Between the two
buildings. Okay.
Tower and so forth.
Okay. So people still find things which are unbelievable, to do. Gary Conry, what did he do? He made a wingsuit for himself and he flies, wearing that wingsuit. He's a wingsuit flyer. Okay. I certainly can't do that. For this, you need to be very physically strong, I think. Fit person. Lynn Cox. What does she do? She is a swimmer. She's a cold water athlete. So she swims particularly in cold water. Okay. It's not very easy to swim in cold water because when you go in cold water, then your heart starts to stop slowly, because of the low temperature. This is called hypothermia. When the temperature of the body starts to decrease to that level where life is in danger, you might die. Okay, that thing can happen. So that kind of situation is called hypothermia. So people normally, swimming is okay, fun, but cold water swimming, because some of the waters in this world are really cold. Okay, Robbie Shone, cave explorer. Robbie Shone, cave explorer. Robbie Shone is a cave explorer. Now the term cave explorer means he goes inside the caves, inside caves, and he explores them. He finds out about them. Cave explorer. That's a very interesting job and dangerous job too. Who knows what will be inside one of those caves? Right? Some rakshas or some chamgadar or something. Anything he might come across one day. Karen Darke, Paralympic cyclist, triathlete and adventurer. Okay, Paralympic cyclist. Okay, as you know, Paralympic is for those people who are physically challenged. They are not like us people. Yeah, they have physical disabilities. And they also want to have fun. So there is a special event called Paralympics for them. Those who are visually impaired, those who are, lame or can't walk properly, those who don't have both their arms, different kinds of impairment there is, different kind of disabilities. So people with disabilities participate in sports, and the biggest event is Paralympic. So she's a Paralympic cyclist, means she cycles there. And see how she does it. Okay, what a different kind of cycle it is. Okay, and she's a triathlete and adventurer. She does adventures as well. So these people are explorers, modern, explorers, the 21st century explorers. They are doing fun things. Like I said, these people, maybe when they're small kids, when they're small babies, I think some bug bites them, some bug bites them, then they become like this. Because most of us are happy living a normal life, getting married, having a girlfriend, right? These people want to put their lives on the line all the time. They want to take risk all the time. So guys, you're going to do something. You're going to read about these 4 people. And I'm going to ask you to read each paragraph once and talk about it. Okay, everybody? Read the first paragraph about Gary Connery, only the first paragraph, because when I ask you to read a lot, then you guys kind of lose the information. I've noticed that. So just read the first paragraph. The first paragraph that I've selected, Gary Connery. Only the first paragraph. Okay, everybody, read the first paragraph. You are done. Gary Connery is 42 and he is a wingsuit flyer. He has made over 1,350 jumps from a helicopter, over 730 meters above the earth. Okay, he's flown free through the air at 80 miles per hour and landed without a parachute. He has jumped from the Eiffel Tower, Nelson's Column, the London Eye, my God, Tower Bridge, and from inside the Millennium Dome. So the first paragraph only talks about his experiences in life, what things he has done. This paragraph only talks about what things he has done. And you guys tell me, it also tells you his age and his job. He's 42. He's just 1 year younger than me, guys. Okay. And he's a wingsuit flyer. And you know what? Tell me all the experiences one by one without copy pasting the language. Okay. Use your own words and tell me. He has made lots of jumps. He has made how many exactly? It means he has jumped 1,350 times. In his life, he has jumped 1,350 times. And it was when the book was written. I think now the number must be bigger than that because he did not retire, right? So, maybe? Okay. So guys, he has made so many jumps. Okay. He has jumped so many times, 1,350 times. And he has jumped from a helicopter.
No, I think he's just a class player. He knows how to play the conditions. He knows how to play the situation as well. And it's not only about playing those big hits, hitting those big sixes. It's about rotating in the middle as well. And, you know, people like Johnny Bairstow, people like Jaws Butler.
What happened? Match is the first innings is over. What's the total? Oh, they just touched 280. I thought they would be, restricted with. Last wicket made 27 runs. They saved themselves because the Kiwis bowled really well. To get rid of Butler and Livingston in the middle overs and Moin Khan and all these players. Moin Ali. I think they are going to win the match, New Zealand, the way they have played. I think they will have the upper hand. They will have more confidence. They will come to bat with more confidence, because there was a time when they were scoring 6 runs and over, the English team. And it looked very certain, very likely that they would touch 300, 320. But, psychological advantage, what you call it, when you restrict your opponent. So I think they have this New Zealand team. Anyways, the first paragraph, okay? So he has jumped from a helicopter over 730 meters above the earth. 730 meters above the earth. Nearly as high as Burj Khalifa. Okay, Burj Khalifa is 800 some meters high, okay? And he has jumped from that height without anything, no parachute, just trusting his wingsuit, okay? And he has landed without a parachute too. It's not that when people reach closer to the earth, they open their parachute, but this guy jumped. He landed, not only jumping, okay, a lot of people jump, like, what do you call it? Skydiving. But when they are landing, they open their parachutes. This guy has landed without a parachute from that kind of height. Who says man cannot fly? You just need to be a Gary Connery, right? You just need to be Gary Connery. You can fly. If you are Gary Connery, you can fly. Okay. And he has jumped from so many buildings. He has jumped from the Eiffel Tower with his wingsuit.
And
okay.
London.
And you know what? Yeah, you know what? If you're jumping from less high places like 200, 100 meters, it's more risky, because you have very little time to fly. And if, somehow, you lose your control or something, 100 meters is gonna kill you. If you jump from a height of 100 meters and somehow it doesn't work according to your plan, the wingsuit doesn't work, then you are certainly gonna die, right? But okay, now first paragraph is over. No problems here. This talks about his experiences. Now do the second paragraph. Only the second paragraph, 4 lines. You finish reading, you can read the second time as well. Read the same part the second time, so that you can understand the information there. You are reading to understand. Remember, the purpose is to understand. Don't just read to understand. So the second paragraph describes what wingsuit flying is. People who don't understand what it is, they can understand what exactly is wingsuit flying. It is the sport of skydiving, because you dive in the sky, skydiving, but you don't use a parachute. Those people normally, when they get closer to the earth, they open their parachute, but you don't use a parachute to land. You jump just like a skydiver, but you don't use a parachute to land. It means skydivers use?
Parachute to
Yeah.
land.
Yes. Okay. So you wear a special suit with huge wings on the arms. Can you see that on the right side? Wings on the arms. Okay. And legs. And you fly for miles. You jump, then you don't come down. No, you don't come down. You fly. Okay. You come down slowly. You fly for miles. That would be more fun, I think, than skydiving. It's like really being a bird. Okay, so he flies for miles like a bird and finally land on a mountain of cardboard boxes so that you don't get injured. Now the cardboard boxes, those TV and everything comes in those boxes, cardboard. Okay, the cardboard boxes. Cartoon in our language, cartoon. Okay, actually it's an English word, carton. It's pronounced carton. Okay, carton, carton. Okay, but carton became cartoon. दो कार्टून भेज दीजिएगा, है ना? ऐसे ही बोलते हैं ना लोकल में. तो फिर से बोलता हूँ, इंग्लिश किसी पढ़े लिखे की आवाज सुन के मत सीख लो इंग्लिश. सीधी सी बात है मेरा मैसेज बहुत सिंपल है कि जब तक तुम किसी पढ़े लिखे से इंग्लिश सीख रहे हो तब तक तुम इंग्लिश का कंडम कर रहे हो, खराब कर रहे हो. बट जब तुम एक्सपर्ट से इंग्लिश सीखोगे तो सीखो, क्योंकि पढ़े लिखे ही लोग तो बोलते हैं कार्टून. डॉक्टर्स और एमआरस, दो कार्टून ये वाला दे दीजिएगा. ठीक है, तो एक कार्टन है, CARTON. ओके, कार्टन. ओके, so cardboard boxes, carton. Okay, now what is the biggest challenge in your opinion? What are the challenges here? When you heard about the wingsuit flying, the description, then use your imagination and tell me what are the risks. Imagine and tell me what are the risks here. What could go wrong? If he loses his balance, maybe. However, with practice, swimmers don't sink. Swimmers don't sink. Even if they are tired, they can float on water. So I don't think that is a real risk. He'll manage. But accidents can happen if a bird flies into him and hurts him in his eyes or something. Yeah. Or if anything damages his suit. If anything like a bird or anything damages his suit somehow, sometimes accidents can happen and maybe very strong wind. However, this can be taken care of too. They can ensure that the wingsuit is strong enough, to withstand all sorts of strong winds and all, maybe. The real risk, I think, is when they're landing. They might miss the landing target, landing space, because how big a space can you create with the cardboard boxes? 10 by 10 meters, 20 by 20 meters, 30 by 30 meters. But what if somebody misses that target? They get too close to the earth and they can't land on those cardboard boxes. Then what happens? You land on the rough ground with such speed. That will be a real crash landing. Okay. Now, we're done here. Read the third part. Gary's lucky, and read the whole to the word stadium. Is it 2 liters or more than 2 liters? Yeah. No, I think it is more than 2 liters. Maybe they're cheating. They're adding 250 milliliters extra bonus, extra water. I don't know. Because this looks so much water. 1 liter here, another liter here, okay. But it looks too much water to me somehow. Okay, guys. So first let's finish this and then we will see if my stomach can, handle 2 liters of water in one go. What are the chances? What do you think? Do you think I'm gonna be able to drink all of it? I won't be able to drink it all. Okay, if I did, are you gonna give me some rewards?
Yes.
Okay, what?
Provide more students.
How? You will say that the teacher is a camel. Go study with him. He drinks 2 liters of water. I mean, how will that bring me more students? Come on. Say something you can do. Oversized t-shirt, the one I'm drinking already, the one I'm wearing already. Look. Okay. All right. So now I have to do it for my business. Okay. So if you find nobody, then you will bring your family members because they have to listen to you, of course, guys. Yeah, fine. I take that. All right. Win-win for both. It's a win-win for both, right? Yeah. Good for me that I'll get more students and good for him that his family members will or his friends will learn English as well. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Gary's lucky. The sport he loves is also his work. So he's not doing it just for fun. It is his profession. He has worked in over 100 films. So this wingsuit flying got him a job in films. He has worked in over 100 films experience. He has worked in over 100 films as a stuntman. Perhaps you saw him in one of the Indiana Jones or Batman film or in TV Sherlock Holmes. In all these things he has worked. But surely his most famous role was when he played the Queen Elizabeth in the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympics in London and flew into the Olympic Stadium. Oh, that was a very interesting, stunt. They showed that Elizabeth, the Queen, she is jumping, coming, flying, actually it was him, okay? And then for a second, they put Elizabeth walking, okay? Oh, you know how they do it in films. They show that the hero is racing the horse, but actually it's not the hero. Somebody body double or something. Okay, I saw that. Just to understand what went there. You guys can watch him. You can put his name on YouTube and Elizabeth and 2012 Olympics, and you will see the video as well. Okay, guys. So here I go. Do I need to sit down? I will sit down because if something goes wrong, by the way, okay, take me to hospital, guys. Don't run away from here. Now, it happens when, your friends are trying something risky, you encourage them, but when something goes wrong, then you run away. Okay? Okay, then it should not be on the screen, right? So not on you either. Okay, fine. Let's see. Okay. If I leave 100 ml, 50 ml, because I don't finish any task, my personality problem. So if I leave 100 or 50 or 150 ml, then you will consider that I drank it all. What do you think? Will you give me that confirmation? Will you give me that confirmation? No. Will that count as success or not? If I leave 100 ml on.
If you drink only 100 ml, we will.
No, don't be so generous. Don't be so kind. Normally, the water is not this much filled. Why does it feel this much? Like, no, it was not sealed. Okay, okay, fine. Here I go, everybody. Can you see me? Let me first. Yeah, okay. My students have challenged me. Okay, turn the camera downwards. My students have challenged me to drink this water. Okay, yeah, like that. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine.
If you drink it, then
Then you are gonna send me some gifts or something. There, let's go. Think. Ah. 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 What do you guys think? On another day when I'm feeling healthy, I can finish it. That's me. I wasn't feeling very good today. Oh, and still I managed to make it now. How much was that? I think 400 as well? Yeah. Well, 600. Yeah, don't worry. No, please. It was less than half. Yeah. It was less than half a liter. No, that's 600. I haven't thrown up the water. I haven't thrown up the water. It means what? I still have the problem is I wasn't feeling best. But this challenge is still on, guys. This challenge is still on. Someday, when I realize that I'm feeling good, that day I'll drink 2 liters in front of you. And I'll do it next 4-5 days. Someday. Not necessarily tomorrow, but don't worry, you don't have to bring the water. I'll put 2 liters of water in the fridge. And the day when I feel good, I'll do it. Thank you very much for being a sport, guys. Thank you. See ya. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Read the whole text. Read the whole text about all the 4. Bye. Bye-bye. And don't forget to write sentences about classes. Bye-bye.